Potions. Monsters. I'm Geralt.
Why have I become Solid Snake all of a sudden?
Signed in blood and a price to be paid.
Toussaint, the land of love and wine. Your grace, vampires!
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a 2015 game developed by CD Projekt Red, the makers of the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077. This was obviously the last game they developed before they moved their team to work on Cyberpunk 2077. And my history with this game was not very good, to put it straightforward. About a year before The Witcher 3 was actually going to be released, I tried to get into The Witcher 1 and 2. I couldn't get into Witcher 1, and then I tried Witcher 2, which I enjoyed a little bit more, but there was something about, I don't know, the combat in that game that I just really didn't get to grips with. I played it for a couple of hours, and then I was just, I didn't get it. And I think maybe if I replayed it again with a more wiser gamer head, I guess, if that's even a term, if I played it again, I would appreciate what it was. But nonetheless, I'm going to talk about The Witcher 3. And I did actually pick up The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on release for two reasons. Number one, I was kind of impressed by the game itself, by the demos that were being shown. And number two, the reviews pretty much blew it out of the water. It was pretty much 10 out of 10 everywhere. And I'm so glad I picked this game up when, you know, the hype for it was at its peak. Because The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is one of my favorite RPGs of all time, if not my favorite action RPG of all time. One of the things I really love about The Witcher 3 is the opening few hours, because when you start this game, you get plopped into a town, essentially, a couple of towns and a castle in the area. You get plopped into an area of land that you consider at the time to be a huge variety of things to do in this area of land, and you think, oh, this is going to be amazing. There's lots of stuff to do here in terms of content. There's loads of like side stuff to do. There's loads of things to discover. And you think that this is going to be the game. This is going to be the area I'm going to focus on for the rest of this RPG. And then a couple of hours later, it goes, nope, here you go. Here's about 50 times bigger than you thought it was going to be. Which makes you go, oh, wow, this is huge, this game. And that's one of the things that gets praised about The Witcher 3, is that the content in this game is staggering. There's absolutely loads of things to do in The Witcher 3, so much so that me and many other people have not 100% of this game, even though we really want to. But it's not just about the number of things to do in The Witcher 3. It's how interesting they made those things in this game. We're so used to the likes of Assassin's Creed, and I know Assassin's Creed has got a lot better with this, but a lot of Ubisoft open world games did this around the time, I would say, The Witcher 3, even before it came out. There was a load of open world games that had loads and loads of content in it. Just loads of side things to do, upgrade weapons. We were so used to having this, but every time we delve into these side missions, you know, these things that are considered side missions, they were side missions. You felt like they were side missions because there wasn't a lot of effort in them. They were just very quick things that made you get like an XP boost or a new weapon or something. Depends on what game you're playing. There's a lot less in terms of quality to show in the side missions than there were in the main missions. And what The Witcher 3 did was say, no, scrap that. You know what? Everything we put in this game, side missions, side stories, things you want to hunt, things you want to pick up, just random people you speak to in the streets and they give you a quest offer or something. Let's make it meaningful. Let's write interesting stories about every quest. Let's have twists and turns in every quest. Let's make what you're doing and the time you spent playing this game worthwhile. And the stuff you go out of the way for upgrades or money or anything else, let's make that worthwhile. Let's write something interesting. Let's not make this considered to be a side mission and this to be a main mission. And instead, let's just have them in the similar vein. Maybe the main missions are a bit longer, but they're in the similar vein and similar quality as the side missions are as well. It's one of the best things about this game and why it kept me engaged, because everything I did was engaging. There was always something for me to do, and I really look forward to doing it because I knew there was going to be something that was going to interest me behind every corner, every little mission marker I tried to pick up. Every little hunt I did, trying to hunt down monsters, was going to be fun. I knew it was going to be great. And I didn't worry about whether I do enough side missions or main missions or anything like that. It just felt like, do what I want to do. And that's why I love this game. And on top of that, I truly believe what they did in The Witcher 3 made some of the bigger changes to the other open world franchises like Assassin's Creed. They changed things around in that game. It's a whole lot better than it was before The Witcher 3 came out. And I truly believe that when a game does this, when it redefines a genre, it's a special game. It is truly, truly a special game. You can clearly tell in just terms of detail, in terms of writing, as I talked about with the quest and everything, that CD Projekt Red truly cared about this game. It felt like they were making their last ever game. This may be the last thing they ever make. And it's phenomenal. This game is absolutely phenomenal. One or two negatives I do have. I've played versions on the PC of The Witcher 3 and I've played it on my PlayStation 4 Pro as well. And I guess going from PC to Pro is obviously going to notice a noticeable difference, but I do find the performance on the PlayStation, especially the original PlayStation, will suffer. I feel like it doesn't run as well on consoles, but that's like a tiny little thing, and I'm really making a direct comparison because I own both a PC and a console, and that seems a little bit unfair if you own both, because obviously the PC is going to be a whole lot better than a console. The other complaint, which is going to haunt open world RPGs for the rest of their lives, is bugs. They managed to iron out a lot of the bugs, especially early days when this game came out. There was a lot of bugs. Roach, the horse, getting stuck up in the tree every time I try to call him was one of them. There was a lot of bugs in the early days with this game. I do believe they ironed out most of them, but it can happen from time to time. I think action or open world RPGs are just going to have bugs for the rest of their lives. It just seems like that type of genre that always is going to have bugs no matter what. So just to be aware, it can get buggy sometimes. One of the things that I'm really excited about Cyberpunk, and this is a thing that I think CD Projekt Red do better than anyone else in the whole entire industry, is they make believable worlds. With every single town and city you visit, they just get more and more in terms of the way they look in detail, more and more visually entertaining. And it slowly drip feeds you more and more like visual content for you to really sink your teeth into. It truly feels like the outside of the main cities, the countryside of The Witcher 3 is one game, and then the city side of The Witcher 3 is another game. The city side have their own rules, agendas, things going on that differ from what the countryside problems are. You know, the swamp side, the problems they're having. When you go to another town, they have their own agenda. And I love that because you're experiencing different sides of the coin, so to speak. You're experiencing different sides of people's problems in this game. You're looking at the poor, you're looking at the rich and see how they treat the poor and how it directly impacts them. When you go to rich people's houses or meet rich government officials or people who are in high power, you can see that their actions are affecting this person or these group of people. This feels like a real world. This is how a real world in a video game should be. This is how it should be in the future, especially. This level of detail is going to be in Cyberpunk. Even more so in Cyberpunk. That is why I'm excited about Cyberpunk. They really, truly know how to create a living, breathing world. I know I say that term a lot, but CD Projekt Red know how to do it. They're going to do it again in Cyberpunk. They did it in Witcher 3. It is the most believable world I've ever been in any video game I've played. On top of this, the main story is fantastic. There's great characters to find in the main story. Amazing, interesting characters. Fabulous writing. Very cinematic moments as well. Main story is fantastic. Combat in this game is also very important, and with regards to Witcher 2, which I didn't like the combat in, The Witcher 3 felt like I knew what to do. Immediately, as soon as I picked it up, I knew what to do. It's not complicated at all. It's kind of one of those easy to learn, hard to master kind of things, and a lot of it is to do with what you do beforehand, preparation, what kind of oils you put on your sword, what exact swords you use, and what type of stats they have. Real RPG stuff. Wow, there's RPG mechanics in an RPG game. Who would have thought it? It's easy to get into. It's satisfying combat. It works. It's solid. It's a solid job at combat. I know a lot of people probably don't like card games, but for me, I love playing board games and card games just in real life. And Gwent is really fun. And I've played nearly all the quests in Witcher 3, mainly to do with Gwent, because you know what? There's another example of this game. I spent about 5 or 6 hours in this game, just booting up The Witcher 3, and I can spend 5 or 6 hours just going around trying to find Gwent cards or collecting Gwent cards from people and playing people at Gwent. Because I felt like it. And I love this because in a game, in an open world RPG, the main thing to get across with a lot of these games is freedom and player freedom. That's what open world was meant to be. It was meant to be this kind of thing where it's like, you go do what you want. If you want to do this, fine, you'll do this and you get rewarded for it because that is your main goal. You set your own goals, essentially. And I think a lot of that has got lost on a lot of open world games that have come out. There's been a lot of them, obviously, and very few of these games really hit the nail on the head on what makes an open world game great and interesting. Witcher 3, you could have 5 hours of playing cards with someone and get rewarded for playing 5 hours of cards with cards, or you could do 5 hours of monster hunting and get paid for doing that. It's just freedom. I love this. It's just freedom in an RPG to do what you want and not push you down a certain route or push you down a certain path. It's just up to you. On top of all this, if you got the complete edition, by the way, which you should do, you will get 2 DLC packs, plus a bunch of free DLC that they released pretty much when this game got released, which is pretty much like costumes and things, appearance-wise you could do, but there's also special quests that they released as free. Free, by the way, that was free. I think because the company likes the fact that people enjoy the game and they spent their hard-earned money on a game, that it would be nice for them to release free DLC later down the line for people to keep them playing their game. And then those players will tell their friends that it's really good. And then a YouTuber will tell his audience that it's really good too. So, free DLC, guys. It works wonders. Having said that, the 2 DLC packs that are included with the complete edition, or you can get them separately, without going to spoilers or anything like that, they are amazing, amazing value. What you get in these DLC packs, and by the way, I know I don't want to bring pricing consideration here, but the prices for these are not expensive at all. Really, considering what you get in them, sometimes it feels like you're getting The Witcher 3.5. You know, you're getting another layer on top of this gigantic cake of a game with loads of things to do. You get another layer of it on top of this. And just like its main game, the DLC is in the same quality as the main game. It's some of the best DLC I've ever played. I would 100%, if you're going to buy The Witcher 3, get the complete edition. You will not regret it at all. The Witcher 3 is an absolute masterclass in terms of open world design, in terms of making a believable living world, and it's fun, and I want to keep playing this game forever. You know, I have already played this game forever. I've played 2 different versions of it. I bought it on PlayStation, I bought it on PC afterwards, and I never wanted to stop. Like the day I actually finished this game, which may never ever happen, it's going to be a weird one because I've played this game for 4 years straight. Maybe even 5 years straight at this point. I honestly think that The Witcher 3 is one of the greatest games ever made of all time. I think it's the best RPG I've ever played. It's a masterpiece. This game is an actual freaking masterpiece. Well done, CD Projekt Red. I cannot wait for Cyberpunk. I truly cannot wait for Cyberpunk, merely based off this game. This game is phenomenal. I'm going to give The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt a 10 out of 10. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this review. If this is your first time watching a review, hey, hit subscribe and maybe like the video, because algorithms and stuff like that. And I will see you for the next review very, very shortly. Thank you for checking this one out. See you next time.